Well, Happy New Year to all of you out there. I continue to be excited about the concept of unselling and have made progress on the book. I expect to have the ebook published here in the next several weeks. But I continue to come across topics that I think would be relevant for this video blog. And one way to help kind of bring to life the notion of unselling is to share with you one major insight that I get from doing win and loss reviews, which is where I go and do face-to-face interviews with client executives after they've chosen one vendor or another, so that we can get insight as to exactly why they chose who they chose. Well, one thing you find in this process is that clients are actually motivated to mislead us in the buying and selling process. And I know that sounds illogical, and you might argue, well, does that mean they're evil or mean-spirited? And the fact is they aren't. They're actually just selfishly motivated to give us only partial information so that we'll stay engaged in the selling process in order for them to get what it is they want. And so you can use two different approaches. You can use the selling approach, which is you ask a client a sample question. I might say, Mr. Client, what are you using today as the incumbent? And they'll tell you who they're using. And then you might follow up with another question that says, well, are you happy with them? And they'll say, well, we're generally happy with their service. But we really want alternatives, so that's why we're calling you. And you can accept that answer and then give them a proposal and a competitive price and all those things. The alternative is what I call the unselling approach. And that is we're taking provocative points of view and we're flopping them on the table. So in the example I just shared with you, instead of asking the innocuous question, who's your incumbent and why would you look to switch, maybe I say it like this. Who are you using today? They say XYZ company. I say, well, are you satisfied? And they say, well, yeah, they've done a reasonably good job. Well, perhaps the third question is, having done this for a long time, what I found over and over again is when clients are satisfied with who they're using today, the most logical thing for them to do, the easiest thing for them to do, and quite honestly, the most common thing for you to do is to stay with who you have today. Why would you not do that? And then you got to stop and you got to listen. And you got to really determine whether they can provide compelling reasons as to why they would look at alternatives. Because if they can't provide compelling reasons, the likely outcome of this particular situation is they're going to use your proposal and use your pricing as leverage to be able to go back to the current vendor, who they have every intent of using again in the renewal contract, but using your proposal to be able to get a better price in that process. So be aware that clients tell us oftentimes less than the whole truth, nothing, and not nothing but the truth, for their own purposes. And our goal in the unselling process is to try to get the truth on the table. We'll have more of these installments as we go. In the meantime, have a great start to the new year, and good luck and good selling.